We getting ready to get started. All praises. Shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Give it a few more minutes in the spirit. If you're coming into the class tonight, please like, subscribe, and share it. All praises to the Most High for brothers and sisters coming to get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We got a really informative class tonight. I think brothers and sisters are going to be able to benefit from this. A lot of hard work, a lot of revelation came into this lesson, this series. It's a 3-part series tonight. So strap yourselves in for the next couple weeks. We got a really good intrinsic lesson coming in for all you brothers and sisters. So please, I can't express it enough. Like, subscribe, share, double share, triple share. Put this on your Facebooks, on your Instagrams, on your TikToks, whatever platform that you see so fit. This is very informative, very pertinent for some of our brothers and sisters, all you brothers and sisters that's pushing this truth and sincerity. We're gonna get started. We're gonna get started. I see the numbers is coming in. As always, man, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. So as you see the title of tonight's class, The Light. What is it? Episode 1, part 1, however you want to see it fit. This is going to be very beautiful. Just want to give the Most High just all the love and adoration that he deserves and more. Whatever we can do to big up our Father Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. I got this this assignment, right? I got this assignment from the Most High God about a week ago. And I told the Most High I wasn't gonna fail him. I wasn't gonna let him down. I was gonna definitely fulfill my duty and to the best of my ability, convey this message to all my brothers and sisters in Israel. So I just thank everybody for coming in. This lesson has been inspired by the Most High God, and through the will of the Most High God, is going to be distributed by your boy, Captain of Yahweh's Camp. As always, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. I want to big up to the elders of Yahweh's Camp. I want to big up to the priests of Yahweh's Camp. Shalom to the captain. Shalom to the officers of Yahweh's Camp. Definitely want to give a mighty shalom to all the families of Israel. I want to give a mighty shalom to all the children of Israel that's coming in this truth. I want to give a mighty shalom to the brothers and sisters that's been pushing this truth and sincerity for decades in truth over the last, some odd years. All praises. Hey, Shalom, Captain Yashawan of Yahweh's Camp. Please like, subscribe, share this class tonight. It's going to be powerful. This series is going to be powerful. This is a 3-part series about the light, which I think every single one of us needs in this walk, especially in these last days. You see what's going on in the news. You see what's going on social media. You see what's going on around the world. We at the end of this thing. Now is the time to rev this thing up, to drive this thing up. And I'm putting a notice. I'm putting an assignment on all you brothers out there, all you sisters out there that's in the truth, that you think you in the truth, I want y'all to take notes tonight. It's going to be the next 2-3 weeks are going to be very informative. So please, again, like, subscribe, and share. First things first, I want to get some announcements out the way. So we in the middle of Passover right now through the Spirit. We in day 6 at YAHAWAH'S camp. Friday evening we will close out unleavened bread, and then after that we got first fruits, and then we've got a couple of more high holy days coming up. We got a couple of new moons coming up. YAHAWAH'S camp will be on the streets this spring and this summer, so watch out. We're going to be on Hargett in person. We're going to be on Glenwood Avenue. We're going to be everywhere. We got a lot more stuff coming up, so I know this has been a minute since y'all seen this on Warzone Wednesday, but we are back. In the next 3 weeks, we're going to be in full effect. We're going to be having this thing rocking and rolling. So again, all my brothers and sisters, please, 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 I can't express it enough. If you are a mouthpiece for the Most High, if you are coming in this truth, if you're been in this truth, if you're unsure about the truth, please watch, subscribe, share, take notes, and just let me do this work. Let me do this for you. Sit back, watch, take notes. All right. Tonight's lesson. All right. Tonight's lesson is the light. All right. This is part 1 of a 3-part series. Okay. Again, this is part 1 of a 3-part series where we're going to go into what is the light. All right. And then the next week, we're going to go into how we showcase this light that we're going into. But it seems fit to describe what the light is. All right. So tonight's lesson is going to be about what is the light. All right, we're talking strictly about how we can edify our people, the so-called blacks, the so-called natives, the so-called Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian, Haitian, Puerto Rican of indigenous descent, all of our brothers across the globe, the 12 tribes of Israel. You are the children of Israel. But more importantly, our job is to showcase how we can be a light, right? And showcase this illumination, right? Everybody wants to be illuminated. Everybody wants to be some sort of a light bearer or some sort of a light giver. But we got to understand baby steps first. What is the light, right? And through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the Most High has given me direction on to instruct my people through the spirit. All right. So first things first, I want to go into a couple of definitions of the light. Before we get started, I think it's very important and very impertinent that we give a definition on what the light is. What is the light before we even get into this thing? So I got a couple of definitions here for us. All right. So we got the word or, right? Or you would say a war, which when you go into the definitions is God is light, right? Or God is the source of the light. God is the source of the light. The Most High God is the source of it. All right. Then you have the word Ma'or, which God creates sources of light. So write these down. Or Ma'or, right? Ma'or or a war or Ma'or, however your translation fits, right? Tomato, tomato, right? So you're looking at God creates the sources of light. Very important. How about this word? Ner or nar, which his words guides light, or his words guides your steps. You can't go anywhere comfortably without having some form of light to what? Direct our steps. Okay. How about Zohar, which means you begin to shine. We all begin to shine. And when you go into the Greek, you have phos, which is truth and holiness. You have liknos, which you carry the light. All right. These are all definitions right now. Before we get started, I want everybody to understand what these different words of light is. How about liknos? Liknos, another Greek word, which means you carry the light. Then you also have 2 more. I have lampas, which others can see your light, and photismos, which is you understand also called you are enlightened. All right. So these words all come through your Greek, all come through your Hebrew translations in the Old and New Testament. All right. And so the idea for all of us is to understand, is God the source of your light? Are you creating light? Right? Are your words or are your steps enlightened or guided by light? All right. And then, of course, truth and holiness. Are you truthful? Are you holy? Right? Can you carry this light? All these things are all important on what it comes into being a true light bearer in this walk, in this truth. It's not enough just going out there and teaching precept upon precept. That's cool. All praises to the Most High. Tonight's lesson is really dedicated to the people who want our people to get the light. And I always have a way of looking at it. Do you want to be light or do you want to be right? And a lot of our brothers in this truth want to be right. Not a lot, but some want to be right and not give the light. Okay. So through the spirit. And next week, we're going to have more brothers on this panel tonight. I know we were shorthanded through technical difficulties, but the word got to get out. All right. The word's got to get out. This truth has to get out through the spirit of YAHAWAH'S. Again, the Most High gave me an assignment, and damn it, I'm going to give it to y'all through the spirit. All right. So the theme for tonight, all right, is just as sunlight gives life, right? We all understand that without sunlight, things cannot live. Plants don't develop, right? Food doesn't grow. Warmth isn't given. All of these things are all a byproduct of the sunlight, the sun rays, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin C, all comes in through what? The sun, the rays of the sun, right? The sunbeam coming down on us and allowing us to receive energy that allows us to live, right? It puts you in a good mood, sunlight, right? Um, puts you in a good way of living, plans your day. All these things are pertinent to how you live your daily life. Direction, okay? Direction is also a byproduct of what? The light that we receive. Health to the natural world. The light of Yahweh gives spiritual life. I'm going to say it again. The light of the Most High God, Yahweh, gives us spiritual light, wisdom, right? And we're going to go into all how light is wisdom, light is understanding, light is righteousness, light is the way to keep you alive, to keep you living, to keep you flourishing in the time of darkness. All right. Let me get a couple of scriptures real quick. I want to get Psalms chapter 119, verse 142. Through the spirit of the Most High God. I'm actually hyped up, all right, because I was able to, in the midst of all this calamity, chaos, the Most High gave me an assignment, and I'm just happy that I was able to hearken. Right, this is Psalm 119, 142. It says, "Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth." Okay, so righteousness is a byproduct of the light, which is a byproduct of what? The laws, statutes, and commandments being heard and followed. All right. Um, what is the light? What is the light of the Most High God Yahweh? Is it just the lights being turned on? Is it sun coming up day and night and you take it for granted? A lot of us say, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow," and we just assume that tomorrow's going to come, right? And that's not always the case. So, what is the light of the Most High? The light of the Most High, on a foundational standpoint and a foundational status, is God's law. All right, write down this scripture right here, Psalm 119, verse 105. We're going to go back a page, all right, and we're going to verse 105. It says, this is Psalm 119, 105, thy word, thy word, thy word, thy word is a lamp unto my feet. What does that mean? What does a lamp to your feet symbolize? Right? The lamp to your feet symbolizes a way of clarity and clear path and direction. So thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. So I want to stop right there, understanding first and foremost that the Most High God's word is a light to give you direction on where to go and where to avoid, where I can go, where I should stay away from. Okay? I'm going to read that again. Psalm 119, 105. Write it down. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Very important to understand that before we go into this. My goal today is to give the viewers, the listening audience, okay, the understanding of light. We cannot go forward until we get the foundation of what light truly is. I can't go into the dark sayings or the high volume sayings if I don't understand what light is. I'll be talking over your head. So I want to get the foundation first and foremost. All right, let's get Proverbs 6 and 23. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23. And it says, for the commandment is a lamp. The commandment is a lamp. And the law, the Torah, is light. Okay, so there's your foundation right there. Psalm 119, 105, and Proverbs 6 and 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproof of instructions are the way of life. You family, you cannot live life without light. Okay, it's impossible. It's impossible. So we have to understand that the commandment, the way of life, how we do things, what we shouldn't do, what we should do, are all the ways of life for us in our survival. It's vital to your health. It's vital to your spirit. It's vital to your salvation. All right. So those are two scriptures right there I want to start off with. Psalm 119, 105, and Proverbs 6 and 23. So here we got right here, the light is instruction, right? And what's funny is I was just putting up bunk beds for my daughters this last weekend, my wife and I, right? And the beautiful thing about it is they gave us instruction. Without the instruction, you would just have a bunch of pieces just scattered abroad, right? Not knowing what goes into what. So I needed some sort of instruction on how to put a perfect bunk bed together. All praise to the Most High. All right. So the light is instruction. Without light, we walk in confusion. I want to go to Proverbs 4 and 19. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. That's Proverbs 4 and 19. Very important scripture. That's the counter to Proverbs 6 and 23. Proverbs 4 and 19 lets us know that without light, you're in darkness. And in darkness, you're going to stumble, you're going to fall. And a lot of our brothers, a lot of our sisters are stumbling because they are walking in darkness. As a matter of fact, 2/3 of our people are walking in darkness because they're stumbling without instruction. And our job as teachers, as Israelites, all you brothers with fringes and long garments and long tassels and stuff, all you sisters with your head wraps and stuff, your job, I'm challenging each and every one of y'all that's listening. Let's make a goal this year, right? Let's make a goal this year and let's try to be a light to our brothers and sisters, man. Right? Let's make that a goal. It's every year you should be able to enhance your walk in this truth. Each and every one of y'all should be setting goals. How can I be a better light bearer in this truth in 2026 and beyond? That's a goal. That's a task I'm putting on everybody that's able to listen, right? All right. So let's go on to this next part, right? Light is God's presence. So the first part we said was the light was instruction and understanding. The next part is light is the Most High's presence. All right. So I want to get Exodus 13 and 21. All right. All praise to the Most High. This is the book of Exodus. All right. Chapter 13, verse 21. And the Most High Yahweh went before them by day in a pillar of cloud. So some of us are in the spirit of the Passover, and you're in the wilderness and you're trying to go through trials and tribulations. You're going through the things that may be hearkening that's wearing you down. Remember, the Most High is going to guide you by light. And verse 21, and Yahweh went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire, okay, which is light, to give them light to go by day and night. Okay, verse 22 says, he took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of the fire by night from before the people. So you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian, Haitian, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Guatemalan, Nicaraguan, Argentinian, Chilean, Brazilian, all of our brothers and sisters, right? You have an understanding that you should have an understanding that the Most High has always given you a pillar of cloud by day and of fire by night to give you light, to give you wisdom and understanding. All right. And a lot of our people are waking up by this light. Brothers and sisters brothers on the corners are giving light week in and week out. Every Saturday, every Friday night, we out there giving what? We're giving light. We're giving wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right. All praises to the Most High for the light. All right. And you should be thanking the Most High that you receive the light and you adhere to the light by the Most High. All right. So again, that's Exodus 13:21. Write it down, understand it, dissect it. All right. The Most High gave us a pillar of fire, and which is light, which is also leadership and navigation. All right. Let's get Psalms 27 and 1. Psalms chapter 27, verse number 1. All praises. It says, Yahweh is my light and my salvation. So the Most High gives us light to give us an understanding of what salvation is. Whom shall I fear? Yahweh is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Tonight's lesson isn't going to be real deep. I'm not going into too many breakdowns. I'm not going into any real dark. We're just going to be real basic tonight. Real basic. We're going to start from scratch because the more important thing is just building a foundation and then having that foundation build upon last week and the next week and the next week. So we got to understand the light is also salvation. Let me read it again. Yahweh is my salvation and my strength. Whom shall I fear? We shouldn't fear no man. We're not fearing no principality. We're not fearing any government systems. We're not fearing what's going on in this part of the world or that part of the world because we know who we have, especially when it comes to these last days. The Most High God is our light. The Most High God is our salvation. Brothers is going through this week, not eating leavened bread. We ate the lamb. We're congregating. We're coming to the new moons, keeping the Sabbath days, doing the things that the Most High told us to do. And this is going to be our reward, beloved, right? All praises to the Most High. So that was Psalms 27 and 1. The light, the Most High God gave us light for salvation. And for some of us that's coming in, please like, subscribe, share this. This is very important. All right. Especially for us that want to be teachers when it comes to this truth. All right. My next one. Light as righteous living. Righteous living. Let's get Isaiah 58 and 8. Isaiah 58 and verse number 8. And it says this. Then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thine health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of the Most High shall be thy reward. All right. So you see right there that light is synonymous with what? Having a health, right? Growing in this truth, being strengthened in this truth. right? Receiving the necessary vitamins and minerals when it comes to this. All right. So that was Isaiah 58 and 8. All right. Through the Spirit, the light will break forth like the morning. All right. And everybody knows that the morning is how you start your day. You're not really out at night, right? You're not really doing things at night. You sleep at night. And the morning is when we start to do our day-to-day what? Our day-to-day activity. The things that needs us to be aware, to be attentive, to be alert, and the things that surround us. All right. Um, all right, so that was that on that. Let's get Yahushua words in Matthew 5 and 16. And this is what he said to his disciples. All right, this is Matthew 5. And I'm going to start at verse number 13. Listen up, write it down, listen up. This is Matthew 5 and 13. Matthew 5 and 13 says this. This is Yahushua's words. Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost its savor, salt was used to season food. Okay? A lot of us teach this Bible without salt. I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say it. I'm going to ruffle feathers. I don't care. The Most High, excuse me, the Most High gave me an assignment, and damn it, we're going to teach it. A lot of our people has lost the salt. You teach because you want to be right. You teach because you want people to see you know a lot. And at the expense, 2/3 of our people will never get this gospel because you want to be right and you don't want to teach the light. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing. A lot of our people, we teach and we're good for nothing because we lost our savor. But to be cast out and to be trodden underfoot. This is why you see a lot of guys that's no longer teaching no more, because they lost their savor. They wanted to be right. I don't care. They want to be right. They lost the identity of giving light. They want to be right. And you don't see them no more. They doing this, they doing that. They found other interests. That's fine. We're going to teach this truth over at YAHAWAH'S camp. Verse 14 says, ye are the light of the world. Okay? A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Your light should not be hidden. I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say it throughout the whole 3 weeks. Your light, the information that you possess, the love that you want for our people to get can't be hidden. You can't have the mindset of, I'm going to keep it to myself. If I love my so-called black brothers and sisters, I'm going to let you know, but I got to do it in a way that's going to be received as light and not as an ambush attack. And that's what this lesson is about these next 3 weeks. How do we teach this truth without making someone offended to where they don't want to receive the light, but they got to get the light? All right. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Yahushua is telling y'all, y'all cannot hide your talents. You can't bury your talents because you're waiting on something. You can't bury your talents because you just don't feel right. If you in sin, you got to clean that up so you can go out and do this work. Okay. Verse 15 says, neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel. You got a lot of our brothers got light. I'm challenging y'all. A lot of our sisters have understanding, and you could be a very good asset to a new sister coming in the truth that don't know what she's doing. And a lot of our sisters just find ways to just find, like, I'm just gonna come over here and do what I gotta do and then leave, right? No, 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 no. If you love your brothers, if you love your sisters, you gotta be a light bearer. You have to be illuminated. It has to show from within. All right. A lot of us are passionate about sports. We're passionate about entertainment. We're passionate about our careers and work. Could we start finding passion in delivering this truth? All right. Reading on. It says, verse 15, I'm going to read it again. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. YAHAWAH'S is telling you that this light must be illuminated to everybody in this family of Israel. All right, verse 16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works. Light right now that we see is having the good works of first of all, you must be committed to keeping the commandments. You must be committed to keeping these statutes and these commandments and the Torah. But you also have to have the commandments in your heart to let others. It has to be infectious. It has to be like the opposite of rotten fruit. It has to be righteous fruit that gets on somebody else and they want to be like you. All right. Everybody sees us when we out and about as Israelites. We got our fringes on, we got our mitris on, and it's something about you. It's something about us that's very contagious, and they want to be like it. And it's the light that we have that's inside that people want. But do you want to be right or do you want to give the light? And that's what the whole kit gang caboodle's about. These next 3 weeks is asking yourself and looking in the mirror and say, man, do I want to just be right or do I want to give this light? All right. So verse 16 says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. All praises to the Most High. And that's ultimately why we're doing this for. Your light is this mouth, right? And being a mouthpiece and being an ambassador and being a some sort of uh, um a giver, right, of this truth, making this truth worth a damn. All right. Hey, look, your family may see you and say you're going through a phase, but you know what? I guarantee you, the more consistent you are with doing this work and keeping this commandments, the more consistent you are of abstaining from pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, the better off your family will be because they see that you are dedicated. All right. Now, I'm not saying that we need to go out there and just let everybody just run roughshod over you. What I'm saying is display what this Bible talks about. Be a real ambassador of this truth. Be a real light bearer that the Most High told you to be. All right. Let's get Revelation. Let's get Ecclesiastes 8 and 1. So the next point I want to make, light is understanding and revelation. Light is understanding and revelation. Let's get Ecclesiastes 8 and 1. All right. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8 and 1. It says, who is as the wise man? Remember, point number what? Where we at? 1, 2, 3, 4. Point 4, light is understanding. So who is as the wise man? That's a question. And who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? Another question. A man's wisdom, okay? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. What does this remind you of for some of our biblical knowledgeable experts? It reminds me of Moses. When Moses came down from the mountain and he had the wisdom and the understanding of the Most High God. What was Moses's countenance? Let's get it. Let's get Exodus 34 and 29. All praises to the Most High. I'm excited about this assignment, man. And I'm not gonna let the Most High down. This is Exodus 34 and 29. And it came to pass when Moses came down from Mount Sinai. Moses just came with the Torah. Moses came down with the laws, statutes, and commandments, which we further earlier established as light. Okay, with the two tables of testimony in Moses' hand when he came down from the mount, that Moses was not, that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him. So Moses received this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, instruction, right? And his face shined. Moses was illuminated. Mm. Moses was illuminated by what he received from the Most High God. Verse 30, and when Moses and all the children of Israel saw, I'm sorry, let me read it again. I'm read it again. And when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone. Moses was shining, and they were afraid to come nigh unto him. Right? So Moses received knowledge, wisdom, understanding, instruction, because the Most High gave him what? The Most High gave him light, and that light was able to manifest. And what happened after that? All the children of Israel was able to walk lockstep with Moses. See, the idea is that light should be contagious, right? That's right. That's right, Cat. Moses is what we're talking about. And when Moses received that light, it became contagious. They put away the idols, they put away the fornication, they put away all of the sin, and began to walk with Moses, and began, as a byproduct, was walking with the Most High. How many of us can say that when we teach this word, other people want to be like you and walk with the Most High? How many of us can say that? Oh, when I get around family, do they want to be like me, or do they talk ill of me? And a lot of it is our delivery. Our delivery is not with the light. I'm putting all of us on black. If the shoe fit, wear it, right? Clean it up, wear it, and change shoes. I'm going to say it again. A lot of us ain't walking with the light. We just want to be right. We just want to have an idea that we showed somebody something and we cut somebody. Everybody want to cut, cut, cut. But who's healing and who's giving the light? Who's showing the light and allowing somebody to be healed with the words and your actions and how you live and how you display your way of living? All praises to the Most High. All right. Let's get Second Ezra chapter 2. Second Ezra 14. All right, let's get Second Ezra 14, and then I want to get verse 25. All right, so right now we're showing that light is what? Understanding. All right, light is understanding. So I want to get verse number, what did I say, 25? Here we go. All praises. And come hither. This is Second Ezra 14:25. And come hither, and I shall light a candle of understanding in thine house, in thine heart. Read it again. And come hither, and I shall light a candle of understanding, understanding in thine heart, which is your mind, right? Your mind is your heart, which shall not be put out. All praises to the Most High, till the things be performed which thou shalt begin to write. So the Most High even gave Ezra the scribe the light, which was understanding that was never going to be put out. And through the Spirit, if I teach my family, if you teach your family, if I teach my son, and then my son grows up, your son grows up, my daughter grows up, understanding the light, then it becomes contagious. One of the parts of the light, one of the ideas of the light is being able to deliver this truth to where it can be received, right? But when you shine that light too early, people run from it. It's like in the morning, you turn the light on and you're not ready for it. You what? You hide. You put the covers on. You run for cover because the light, you ain't ready for it. But again, you have to learn how to give this light. statutes and commandments, understanding, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, obedience, right? All the things that come with it. So that was Second Ezra 14:25. I'll read it again. It says, "And come hither, and I shall light a candle of understanding in thine heart, which shall not be put out, till the things be performed which thou shalt begin to write." All right. So light is spiritual awareness, knowing Yahweh's will. All right. So let's move on. What are the benefits of light? All right. What are the benefits of light? Some of us may grow plants, grow fruit, cultivate, and do all the see, one thing you got to realize is that Israelites were a people of agriculture. So a lot of the analogies are going to go back to farming, cattle, right? You see the sheep. Now we're seeing light and growth and all the things that coincides with it. So the benefits of light is that light gives life. Light gives life. If that sun, right? If the Most High's sun were to go out tomorrow, we'd be dead. I believe in like 8 hours or something crazy like that. The earth is going to freeze, right? I think it takes about 8 minutes for the light to go from the sun to the earth. And in about 8 hours, the whole earth is going to be frozen with no life to be inhabitable. We need light to live, right? Let's get Genesis 1 and 3. Watch this. The first order that the Most High created was light. Anybody believe that when the Lord said, "Let there be light," we're talking about sun, moon, stars? That wasn't created till later. So what was this light created in Genesis 1 and 3? Well, knowing what we know now, light that was created in Genesis 1 and 3 was talking about knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, obedience, submission to the Most High, right? Being obedient, following God's will, knowing the laws, statutes, and commandments, knowing what pleases the Most High, right? Captain Yashawan is jumping ahead. That brother's in the spirit. That's actually my next couple verses, Baruch 4. Right, but let's get Genesis 1 and 3. That brother good. This is Genesis 1 and 3. And it says, "And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness." We understood going to Proverbs 4 and 19 that wickedness was darkness and light was righteousness. So Genesis 1 and 3, we're talking about wisdom, knowledge, understanding. I believe Wisdom of Solomon, they talk about how light was there in the beginning, right? Matter of fact, let's get Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7, verse number 10. Is that what I want? Yep. Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 10 says, "For they that keep holiness holily shall be judged holy, and they that have learned such things shall find what to answer." No, that's 6. Wrong verse. Chapter 7 and 10 says, "I loved her above health and beauty," talking about wisdom, okay, "and chose to have her instead of light, for the light that cometh from her never goeth out." Right? Talking about wisdom, knowledge, understanding. I want to get another scripture real quick. Wisdom of Solomon 7, 26 and 29 says this: "For she, wisdom, is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of God, and the image of his goodness. And being but one, she can do all things, and remaining in herself, she maketh all things new, and in all ages, entering into holy souls, she maketh them friends of gods and prophets." Very important on what I'm about to say. Listen to this. Put your thinking caps on. Really focus on what I'm about to say. Knowing what we know, that Adam received the breath of what? Adam received the breath of life. The breath of life is the understanding that the Most High God and what He requires from all of us. Having the light and having the life enter into you, the breath of life, and obtaining the light is literally knowing what pleases the Most High God. That's what it is. That's what it is. Knowing what pleases God is being obedient to His good works, being obedient to what is required of you as so-called Black, brown, Latinos, Native American men, women, and children. All right. All praises to the Most High. I'm looking in the chat, and yeah, all praises, right? Johnny Hall says, the commandment is the lamp and the law is light. That's Proverbs 6:23. Beautiful, right? Tessa Hadassah, she says, hey, Shalom Kings and Akim and Aqua family, all praises. Hey, the water for to Tessa Hadassah for coming in. Hey, please take notes, put your questions in the chat, right? Get the precepts. Let's go. That's right. All solid bowl roots 831. Shalom. All praises to the Most High. All right, let's get back into it. All right, so we understand that Adam received this light from the get-go. That was the breath of life he received from the Most High God that made him live, that made him a walking soul that knew how to please his Father, right? That knew how to please the Most High God. All right. I got one more. Let's get Ecclesiasticus chapter 24, verse 1 in the Apocrypha. Let's get Ecclesiasticus 24 and 1. Watch this. Wisdom shall praise herself and shall be glory in the midst of her people. In the congregation of the Most High shall see she, wisdom, okay, open her mouth and triumph before his power. Listen, I came out of the mouth of the Most High and covered the earth as a cloud. We're seeing right here that wisdom is given from the Most High to us, and we regurgitate it to who? The people in darkness. This gospel is the light. This gospel, aka the good news, is more than just anything just being chosen. That's the most beautiful thing that I can ever tell somebody Black is that you were chosen because the Most High chose you before birth, right? All praises to the Most High. And you must walk in that what? You must walk in that light and then show it to others. And when I show it to 2 people, those 2 people multiply the works and show it to 8 people. And then those 8 people give it to 16 people. But the most important thing is that this word must go out in truth and sincerity. If you want to be a show off, if you want to be a tell all and you know all the things, it's just going to go on deaf ears. You want to be right or you want to get a light. I don't care if I'm wrong. I want to give the light. I've been wrong. Everybody's been wrong. I don't care about being wrong. I care about giving my people this life, right? I want to jump over to Genesis 2 and verse number 7. And the Most High God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Again, life, right, is being not necessarily breathing air and bleeding and eating and having oxygen. Life is more about being alive in the Most High, right? Like Starboy in the Night says, the way, truth, and life. That's a beautiful saying, right? The way, truth, and the life. All right, all praise to the Most High. It ain't about being right. We don't care about being right. We care about just giving this light. All praises. Point number 2 about how light keeps us alive. Light brings clarity and direction. Anybody ever walk through your house and the lights is off? Are you walking with confidence when the lights is off? Hell no. unless you ain't stub your toe and trip over something. You're timid. You're tiptoeing in the dark. When the light's on, you can pretty much walk backwards. You can walk with your eyes closed. You can run because the light is on. All right. So we got to live life as if the lights is on. We got to deliver this truth as if the lights is on. We got to be able to display this gospel as if the lights is on. We're not tiptoeing in 26, man. We walking with confidence all through 26. All right, let's get Psalms 36 and 9 through the Spirit. Right? We ain't playing tonight. We got two more lessons coming into this. I'm just giving y'all the foundation tonight. Through the Spirit and Most High willing, I'm able to finish this thing out. Right? This is Psalms 36 and 9. And it reads this: For with thee is the fountain of life, in thy light shall we see light. I'm going to read it again. For with thee is the fountain of life. This is a Psalm of David, a man after God's own heart. For with thee, Yahweh, is the fountain of life. In thy light shall we see light. Right? In Yahweh's light, we're going to see light. Not in your light, not in his light. Again, this is the understanding that light is understanding, is knowledge, wisdom. It's a lot of wisdom out here. It's a whole lot of wisdom. A lot of brothers that's smart, a lot of sisters that's smart. They know all the shades of brown, and they got all this understanding on the dinosaurs existed, the earth being flat, who shot this person and who assassinated. That don't matter. It's not the light of the Most High. It's not the wisdom of the Most High. It's the wisdom of man. The scripture says the making of many books is not the right thing to do. There's no light in there. That was Shalom, Captain. That was Psalms chapter 36, verse 9. I'm gonna read it again. Psalms 36 and 9. For with thee is the fountain of life. And it's funny that David used the word fountain, because when you think about a fountain, you're thinking about something that's just flowing nonstop, like a waterfall. There's no cutoff on a waterfall, right? There's no cutoff on anything on a fountain, right? It's just going and going and going, and it's just going as much as you can receive. So it's an abundance. For with thee is the abundance or the fountain of life, and in thy light shall we see light. Then it says, "Oh, continue thy loving kindness unto them that know thee, and thy righteousness show to the upright in heart." I'm here to tell y'all that you cannot sincerely teach this truth unless you're upright in heart. If your ministry is all about doom and gloom, if somebody is leaving from your ministry and they mad at you, then you are not teaching with love and kindness. You're not teaching with the light. You're teaching the cut to be right. And they leaving and you didn't shut them off from the next person that's going to try to deliver the light. You're doing more damage, right? You're doing more damage by being right. And you're better off just being humble and just understanding that you just came into this truth. We all just came into this truth. And now you want to be high and mighty. Now you want to know more. You want to showcase that you know more than everybody. A lot of us, when we first came into this truth, the first person you told was your mother, your father, brothers, sisters, wife, uncles. And a lot of us has turned this light off on a lot of them because of how we delivered this truth. And they'll never come into this thing because of how you presented this gospel. I've never seen someone not reject $1 million because of how you gave it to them. But you can turn anybody off by your attitude, by your approach, by how you deliver the light. And that's next week. Right now, we're talking about what is the light. All right. How about this? Light heals and restores. The light heals, not kill, heal and restore. Let's get Malachi 4. Light, listen, your light should heal somebody and restore somebody. It shouldn't be shutting nobody up. Listen, somebody can't be mad at you. because you showed them how to get this truth, but they'll be mad at you if you do it the wrong way. If you're doing it with the arrogant mindset, let's get Malachi 4 and 2. But unto you that fear my name shall the sun, what does the sun do? The sun gives what? The sun gives light. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. Now, this is synonymous with YAHAWAH'S, right? Because YAHAWAH'S is not only the SON, but can be the SUN. And guess what? You can also be an SUN. You can also be a son of righteousness. You can also be a daughter of righteousness. Arise with healing in his wings, and you shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. You can't grow without light. You can't. And some of our women, some of our men, we have an obligation, we have a duty to make this this light contagious by showing that we really want y'all to get this truth, right? You can't grow without light. Some of our women don't believe that they got a ministry. A lot of our women don't believe that there is a place for them in the will of the Most High, in this walk and in this truth that we're in. Yes, there is. Because guess what? I can't teach a woman how to be a woman in this truth. I need y'all. We need y'all. I can't tell a woman how to submit without another woman being an example. So yeah, women, y'all have an obligation too. Yep. You signed up for this truth. Guess what? You got work to do too. Yes, young man, you signed up and you want to hit your shofar and wear your fringes and receive all the benefits of an Israelite. Well, guess what? Guess what you signed up for? You signed up to also be in this truth. You signed up to also be a light bearer, to be illuminated, to have this light in you that's able to shine before men. All right? That was Malachi 4 and 2. I'm going to read it again. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing, not tearing down, not opening new wounds. Our people are traumatized on these streets, man. They have trauma that they're dealing with. You shouldn't further afflict that person with more trauma, embarrassing them, and they don't know their left hand from their right hand and right from their left. We gotta heal our people, man. And you shall go forth and grow up as calves in the stall. Let's get Tobit 11 and 7. We know we're not playing in 26, man. We're not playing in 26. This is Tobit 11 and 7. It says, now we know that Tobit lost his vision, lost his eyesight, lost the wisdom. Imagine this, right? Now, when you go into somebody being blind or deaf, they often say that other parts of their bodies overcompensate and they become enhanced because you lost your eyes. Now your nose, you're able to pick up a better smell. You can hear better. The other senses become more attuned because you may have lost vision. You may have lost something else earlier, right? But imagine living most of your life and you had all five senses. You can taste, you can smell, you can hear, you can touch, and you can see. But imagine you 40, 50, and you lost your eyesight. How hard is it having 40 years of vision and then year 41 you have no vision? Imagine being Tobit and you have years of vision and then you lost it, right? And we're going into that right now. Tobit 11 and 7, and it reads like this. Then said Raphael, who was an angel of the Most High, right, a messenger of God, I know, Tobias, that thy father will open his eyes. Therefore, anoint thou his eyes with the gall, and being pricked therewith, he shall rub, and the whiteness shall fall away, and he shall see thee. Then Anna ran forth and fell upon the neck of her son, and said unto him, Seeing I have seen thee, my son, from henceforth I am content to die, and they wept both. Tobit also went forth toward the door and stumbled, but his son ran unto him. See, Tobit couldn't see, right? Tobit couldn't see. He was walking in darkness. A lot of us are walking in darkness. Not saying Tobit was off. What I'm saying is Tobit was just blind. He couldn't see. Okay? He couldn't see. And his son went and helped him up and took hold of his father. And he strake of the gall of his father's eyes, saying, Be of good hope, my father. And when his eyes began to smart, meaning his eyes began to get better, it waxed better, right? He rubbed them, and the whiteness peeled away from the corners of his eyes. And when he saw his son, he fell upon his neck. So he was able to see, have vision. All praise to the Most High. Verse 14, and he wept and said, Blessed art thou, O God, and blessed is thy name forever, and blessed are all thine holy angels. Verse 15, for thou hast scourged and hast taken pity on me. For behold, I see my son Tobias, and his son went in rejoicing and told his father the great things that had happened to him in Media. Right? So you see right there, when you have vision, when you're able to see, you're able to rejoice, be glad, have a way of just celebration and being joyful, right? All praises to the Most High. So you see the parallel on how vision and sight and light are able to help you, help all of us become better. All right. That was Tobit 11, 7 through 14. All right. So sunlight supports health, spiritual truth to the spirit and to your mind. All right. Light produces growth and fruit. All right. Light produces growth and fruit. What you're seeing right here is the similarity, a similar aspect of a spiritual light on the left-hand side and the literal light on the right-hand side, and how the literal light on the right-hand side gives life and light, and how the spiritual life does the same exact thing. Let's get John chapter 8, verse 12. Let's get John 8 and 12. And it says like this, Then spake Yahawashi again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. So we see right here that light is life, and darkness is what? Is sin. The wages of sin is what? Death. So you're seeing right here, again, this is very clear at this point. We're 63 minutes into this video, this lesson, part one, and you're seeing how all of the theme of the Bible is about how life and light and understanding are all together, and how darkness and sin and a lack of understanding and a lack of compassion, a lack of integrity are all synonymous with each other. All right? That was John 8 and 12. All right? That was Yahawashi saying that. I am the light of the world. Was Yahawashi glowing literally as he walked by? You know, like if Moses shone, then I'm sure Yahawashi had a little bit of a glow to him. A lot of us will see a friend of ours and say, "Yo, you got a glow to you. You have a little bit of an ambiance to you, right? You have a little bit of a glow. You're in a good mood. You're in a good spirit. That's the same deal, right? Are you literally shining in darkness? No, but it's a spiritual aspect of glowing, right? All right. So follow Christ equals the light of life. Let's get Baruch 4. Now I know Captain Yashawan, right? Being the mighty warrior that brother is, he beat us to it, man. But we're gonna get it real quick. This is Baruch 4 and 2. It says, "Turn thee, O Jacob, and take." Let me start at verse 1. Let's get Baruch 4 and 1. It says, "This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die." Okay, so you see right here how the law gives you life. Without the law, you die. Verse 2, turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. What's the it? The law. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. Illuminated. How many of us are illuminated? How many of us are able to talk to a stranger and fill them in with some sort of light? I talk to people all the time, all day, every day at my job, right? Am I hitting them up with Deuteronomy 28:68? Am I beating them over the head with John 11 and Romans 13 and Matt? No, my essence, how I carry myself, the advice that I give them, the spiritual superiority over not them as an individual, but spiritually being more in tuned than they are. Hey, bro, don't do that. She got a man. Hey, sis, don't do that. You better than that. I see some crazy people where I work. I'm not necessarily being a dictator. I'm more so being a spiritual counselor, and they don't even know it because of the subtleness on how I deliver this truth. That's next week. But I'm just giving y'all a preview that we can be that. We can be that without being super brew. Coming in out of the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's super brew. We don't gotta be that all the time. Sometimes you could just be normal and deliver this truth, man. And that's gonna carry you a long way, right? There's gonna be something about you that makes them want to be like you. We have the power of influence, right? It says, turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it, and walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. All right. So that was it on that. All right. Um, how about this? So the next part I want to get into on light is light exposes darkness. Listen, light should be healing you. It should be correcting you as well. The darkness, the little sins that you have, the things that you struggle with, the problems in your life, light should expose it. Paul says, let me get this real quick. Second Corinthians, 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and 5. Paul talks about being circumspect, right? And we all should be this way. But a lot of our teachers, a lot of our brothers that deliver this truth, got to do this times 3, right? It says, examine yourselves. This is 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. Examine yourselves. Don't examine the next man, your neighbor, your wife, your brother, mother, father, sister, cousin, son, daughter. Examine yourself, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, have that YAHAWAH'S Hamashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. Right? So you see how the understanding is that we got to also shine the darkness in our own light. We got to shine our own flashlight and clean some stuff up. Right? The roaches come out when the lights is out. You turn that light on, them roaches, some of us that grew up with roaches, them roaches scatter under the microwave, under the refrigerator, right? I had roaches. You turn that light on, right? And them roaches is gone because of the light. It's the same. A lot of us are roaches. We eat, we crawl around in darkness. When that light come on, then we want to run. We want to run for cover. We want to hide. No, clean that up. Light exposes darkness. Let's get Ephesians 5 and 13. It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 13. It says this, but all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. I'm going to read it again. I'm going to actually start at verse 11. and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. Paul says, do not have any fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. How many times, if I get on social media one more time and I see a so-called Israelite teacher making himself neck and neck, elbow to elbow with some entertainer, some celebrity, some rapper, and y'all know who I'm talking about. And in his mind, it's I'm cool with these unfruitful people who live in darkness. Paul says, do not have any fellowship with the people with the unfruitful works of darkness. And we see what happened when you do that. They're going to be a bigger influence than you'll ever be. They're going to influence you more than you're going to influence them, because our people love darkness more than they love the light. You have to fight every day to not fall into darkness. No one's fighting every day to fall into light. No one's fighting the temptation of keeping the laws of God. We're all fighting the temptation of breaking the laws of God. YAHAWAH'S said, give us this day our daily bread and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. YAHAWAH'S don't say, deliver us into the light. He says, deliver us away from the darkness, because the darkness is like a black hole that's sucking you in. It's drawing you in. So a lot of our brothers that think that they're strong enough, they have a better will, they end up falling out this truth, because the darkness, if you're not doing it correctly, if you're around these guys, you're going to fall into that gang life. You're going to fall into that celebrity life. You're going to fall into the ways of the wicked. Very simple and very easy. Okay? We're fighting every day to not go into the dark side. And you got guys that's flirting with it on social media. It says in verse 12, for it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. Being done in secret is being done in the dark. It's a shame to even mention all the filthy, disgusting things we used to do before we came into this truth, before all the wicked, evil things we did before we came into this truth. Okay? Verse 13, but all things that are reproved, which are clean, which means cleaned up, are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and a Mashiach shall give thee light. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. I'm here to tell y'all, if you are flirting with the left-hand side, if you're on the block again, if you're trying to be cool with the posse, if you want to be an ambassador to the gangbangers, if you want to be an ambassador to the drug dealers and the pimps and the hoes and the thoughts, you're going to have a hard time doing that and still standing in this truth if they influencing you. You're going to need more. It's going to be more than just you. It's got to be more than just you. You need more brothers to tackle that. And it's going to take some of the strongest brothers to beat that beast, because a lot of us are fighting against that left-hand side. And a lot of us go into that darkness thinking we got the straps and we got the equipment that it takes to win, and you come out burnt up, skinned up, jacked up, and beat up. And now you're questioning if you were even an Israelite at all. You don't know what you are. They didn't beat you up on that dark side. Don't be playing with them people over there. Paul said what he said. Don't have no fellowship with them people. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can show your light by your videos. You can show your light as you going through the city. But a lot of our brothers have an infinity, an infatuation, a thirst for being on that left-hand side. And you see what happened to them through the Spirit. Hopefully they can come back and do what's right. Let's get Sirach 27 and 11. Let's get Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 27 and verse 11. It says this: the discourse of a godly man is always with wisdom, but a fool changeth as the moon. I'm gonna read it again. The discourse of a godly man is always with wisdom. Again, yo, you at work, you on the street, you at the gas pump, at the bank, the grocery store, whatever, library. When they talk to you, they should see the wisdom. They should see the light. They should see the things that's illuminated through how you talk, how you carry yourself, how you behave, right? If you out there, I mean, I'm out there at work sometime, and I'm talking to guys who have a lust issue, and they wondering why I don't have that issue. And it ain't because I don't like women. It's because I have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to know that's somebody's wife. That belongs to somebody. It blows their mind. But I'm able to use that as a catapult to minister what YAHAWAH'S said. That's the light I'm talking about. I'm not better than the next man. I don't want to be right. I just want to get his light, right? And hope you get it too. That was Sirach 27 and 11. It says the discourse, or the conversation of a godly man is always with wisdom, but a fool changeth as the moon. If thou be amongst the indiscreet, observe the time, but be continually among men of understanding. You gotta continually be around men of understanding. If I'm around a bunch of brothers with understanding, I'ma have understanding. If I'm around a bunch of foolish brothers that want to gang bang and go on podcasts and talk about foolishness, guess what? I'm gonna be doing that same thing. If I want to be a millionaire, I gotta be around millionaires. If I'm around the elect, I'm gonna be the elect. Most High willing. You understand what I'm saying, right? All praises. Part number 3, walking in the light. Walking in the light. Point number 1, for you to walk in the light, you must be obedient. Obedience unlocks light. Let's get Psalms 119, verse 130. Obedience unlocks light. It ain't your breakdowns. It ain't your how you can read the Hebrew alphabet and you know all the Hebrew words, and you on Facebook asking brothers questions that you know the answer to, but nothing comes of it. Damn all that, right? Are you walking in? Are you obedient? This is Psalm 119, 130. The entrance of thy words giveth light. It giveth understanding unto the simple. Let me read that again. The entrance of thy words giveth light. It giveth understanding unto the simple. We want to give understanding to the simple. My job, all of our job, ain't to be YAHAWAH'S Mashiach, ain't to be Paul, Peter, or any. Our job is to just be light bearers. Our job is to be men and women of understanding. You women are not exempt from none of this. Your job, our job is to give understanding to the people. Okay? The entrance of thy words, your words, how you display the words of the Most High God, how you showcase this truth can go a long way and can have someone out this truth or never coming in this truth, or they can come in on fire. It's about how you give the light. And a lot of our brothers, and I know a lot of our brothers, have a lot of wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, and they know how to give this truth, but something's holding you back. I'm talking to you. Something is holding you back. And I'm challenging you this year. We don't have next year. Don't even think about next year. If you watch TV, you ain't gonna have next year. You got this year, you got this month, this week, today, and today only, to put your brick in, to let your light so shine before men. Facebook posts and information that you got from CNN, and that's cool. That's cool, but you can do more. We all can. All praise to the Most High. All right. Light is obtained by obedience. Okay. Number two, light must be shared. We read that. Matthew 5. I'm going to read it again. Matthew 5 and 14. Matthew 5 and 14. Yahweh Shai know what you're capable of. Don't sell yourself short, man. Right? Don't sell yourself short. You're more powerful than you think. You're more stronger than you think. You're more of an influencer more than what you think. This is Matthew 5 and 14. It says, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel." That's heavy. Think about that. Imagine you lighting a candle just to hide it. You got the candle lit only to hide it. What's the point in lighting it? What's the point in lighting the candle only to hide it? Just to say you did it? But no one knows, right? So again, you light the candle for it to shine. Challenge yourself. Grow. Become better. You've been in this truth 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, and you not letting your light shine? I'm not talking about camp. I'm talking about in life. Now you're doing something wrong. And pretty soon, that candle, that light is going to go out. It's good for nothing, right? But on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works. I remember when that brother used to be alcoholic and a crackhead, and she used to work over at the club and show her body and sell her body. Now she didn't change, and she's wrapped up. You know, she's got children. She's fringes. She don't do what she used to do. He don't smoke weed no more. He don't drink no more. He, he not out there at the club no more. He done settled down. They may call you soft. I'd rather be soft and give light than to be accepted by the wicked. All right? They ain't going nowhere. They gonna come to you in that time and day, right? It says, "And glorify your Father which is in heaven." That's what we're doing this for. All right? We doing this for the Most High God. We glorifying the Most High God with our works and our actions. All right? I got a few more that we're gonna wrap this up. Rejecting light. Now I want to talk to my people that reject this light. That leads to darkness. Let's get John 3 and 19. You reject this light. hey, we talk about it all the time. We just, shake the dust off our boots and we go on to the next one that's going to get it. Right? This is John 3 and 19. "And this is the condemnation." What is the condemnation? The punishment, the sentence, right? The things that you're going to receive for doing wrong, right? Your negative reward, the negative outside, right? The negative effect. "And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men loved darkness." I told you. I did not tell you. I told y'all 5 minutes ago that our people love darkness more than they love light. Every day you got to fight to not go back to darkness. That's the more seductive. That's the easier to fall into. That's the hardest one to defeat. No one's falling into righteousness. We not falling into the truth. People falling out the truth and falling into the darkness, right? So it says, "And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light." That's Yahweh Shai saying that. I didn't say it. Yahweh Shai said it. "Because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth light." That's clean cut right there. Everyone that do evil, you hate light. You love stubbing your big toe on the side of the bed. You love walking around in the darkness. The light switch right there. You don't care. You love walking into things because it feel good. You're led by the flesh. When you out there teaching, you teaching in the flesh. You know how I know? Because you want to be right. That's how I know you teaching in the flesh. You want to be right. You want the cuts. You want the likes. You want the YouTube likes. You're not really worried if somebody get it or not. You're worried about if you can be exalted as a top scholar, which is cool. But if it's for nothing, if nobody's getting nothing out of it, then you studying for nothing. You just treading water, my boy. Right? For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in God. That's why every time you go to camp, every time you go to teach, you do a lesson, the idea is that somebody's going to get it. Somebody, you just pray, I can at least plant a seed, or somebody can come into this truth, right? Camp ain't always war. Camp ain't always war. Camp could be some of the most beautiful, pleasant experiences you can ever have if you do it right. All right, let's get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, verse 2 through 5. I ain't gonna be too much longer, right? Wisdom of Solomon 17, verse 2 says this. Let me start at verse 1. For great are thy judgments and cannot be expressed. Therefore, unnurtured souls have erred. Think about that. A lot of unnurtured souls, these unnurtured souls were malnourished. They didn't have the light to grow. They had something quick to get them through, but they didn't have what it takes to sustain the drought. When there's a famine, when it's dark and it's lonely, you got to be able to light yourself up, right? Those were unnurtured souls. They erred. A lot of our brothers go out there too prematurely to teach. You get a couple precepts under your belt. You watch this brother teach, this brother teach. You see this guy bring it out. You think you can do it. Let's go out there prematurely. 3 weeks into the truth, you want to go out there and teach, right? You're not listening to the elders. You're not getting guidance and counsel from the elders and your leadership. So you go out there prematurely. You do about a good 6 months, maybe a good year, 2 years. You had a good run. Then it becomes boring because it's not really sincere to you. Now you're back at home on 2K on Saturday afternoons. Now you back at the house, and this truth is gonna be like the stock market. You're gonna have highs and lows, highs and lows. And what you doing when it's a low, when the market's low? What you gonna be doing? Right? You're unnurtured. Verse 2. For when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, they being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night. Fettered mean they were tied down, right? With a long night, lay there, exiled from the eternal providence. For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. And a lot of our people, and with fringes on, okay? A lot of our, I'm not talking to the brothers that without fringe, I'm talking to the brothers with fringes, have a lot of secrets that they hide in darkness, right? And these are the things that we got to understand could be a fetter, could be a bondage to us. And that darkness is as judgment. Okay, that's the judgment right there. Last couple scriptures right here. This is it. So we're gonna close it out with this. So the core message of tonight. Okay, again, we're gonna wrap this thing up. We're gonna wrap this whole lesson up with this. The light of Yahweh, the light of Yahweh is. So write this down because next week we're going to be moving on. I'm not coming back to what the light is. If you have questions on what the light is, Go back and watch part one, episode one. Episode two is next week. The law, all right, is the Torah, the presence, wisdom, okay, of the Most High. That's it. Just like sunlight, it gives life, guidance, heals, produces growth. It produces growth. It reveals truth. All right. It's a something that we walk in. Okay. You can't walk without light too long. All right. Um, Again, part two next week, episode two. We're gonna showcase light, and we're gonna have a distinct conversation between the light versus the fire. The difference is light versus fire. A lot of us is on fire, but we don't have light. A lot of us have light. We don't got no fire. Okay. So all praise to the Most High. I hope tonight was very informative. Listen, some of us need this information because it's not always given to us when we turn on YouTube. It's not always given to us when we turn on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram. We got to have the Most High give this to us. Listen, the Most High gave me this inclination, this idea, and I acted on it before the Most High took it from me and gave it to somebody else. Okay, this word gonna come out. I just want to be able to make sure that I'm doing my job. And ideally, I want to give all this motivation to my brothers and sisters to do their own bidding. The Most High speaking to you, damn it, get on that camera and put this truth out there, right? All praise to the Most High. With that, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Yes, Tessa Hadassah says the water. Hey, the water to you as well. I appreciate this lesson as it relates to what I see through the spirit and posts. All praises. Hey, shalom to Officer Imat, mighty brother in the spirit, coming up as a future teacher, a future leader in this organization, and a future brother that's going to put this word out. Hey, shalom to the captain for hopping on. And with that, I say shalom. All right, let's see how we get out of here.